shortcuts. Might have seen yeah.
No shortcuts.
Here to give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration.
No shortcuts.
Me and the boss ain't easy.
Yeah.
Every day somebody needs me.
It's no shortcuts. I wake up, stretch, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts.
Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show.
My mic sounds nice.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
What up?
Hey, I was reading the closed caption as the intro was playing,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's some good songwriting right there."
That's if I may say so.
Yeah. If I may say so myself, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of your favorite lunchtime mix Tuesday show by the name of the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. We live here at noon. Come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah, we understand that it's lunchtime and you guys may be, having a bite to eat, taking a stretch, refreshing. We appreciate you coming on in and hanging out with us. And while you're coming in, feel free to share this to your individual pages. Please feel free to tag a few friends in the comments. Please say what's up first and foremost. Come on
For
in.
sure.
All right, so we
Josh
know
Walker, what's happening?
what's up, Josh? DJ Sticks in the
DJ
house.
Sticks is here.
Yeah, y'all come on in. Come on in. Yeah.
Tell us what you're having for lunch too, or what you had
Yeah,
for lunch if
please
you already
do,
had it.
because we have our lunch after this, and we like to get some ideas for which direction we're gonna head in, man. But we're glad to be here today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's breezy. The sun is shining. It's not hot. It's very comfortable, So hey, like I said last week, spring is almost here. It's
Yeah,
a little
buddy.
early as far as the schedule is concerned, but hey, what are you gonna do? You might as well swim with the current. We're glad to be here, ladies and gentlemen. And as I say every week, we're humbled. Not only are we humbled by you guys hanging out with us, but hey, famous, what else are we? We thankful.
Thankful,
We
grateful, and blessed.
we're blessed. We're blessed to be here. Hey, anytime you get as the theme song said, man, we thankful for another 24. So anytime our eyes open in the morning, we can hop out of the bed and do what it is that we do. We're grateful and we're thankful. And shout out to all the entrepreneurs that are here with us today. Today
For
we
sure.
have a guest, so you definitely don't want to miss this. Feel free to share this around. Shout out to everybody
Yeah.
that's live with us on Facebook, live with us on YouTube, and live with us on Twitch.
Absolutely. Josh Walker had crab balls with mac and cheese and red rice for lunch.
Hey, that guy's always
Winning.
eating good, isn't he? I be
He
seeing
always
his
is.
stories.
Yeah.
I be seeing his stories. He's always eating good, ladies and
Always.
gentlemen. You want to see somebody eating good? Follow this guy.
Sure. I'm having
Yeah,
leftover
man.
enchiladas that my wife just put in the oven.
Okay. Well, hey, it'll be ready for you when you get done. Yeah,
That's right, buddy.
awesome. Yeah. So how was your weekend, man? We got to catch up a moment before
Yeah,
we
man.
go.
Week was good. We kept it light, just planning and getting ready for what's about to come. But I didn't
Okay.
have any special event this past week since we last had a show. It was just kind of keeping it low key, doing stuff with the family, and then getting ready for the season, man. After I think this coming weekend is my last free weekend,
Good
and then
spot
we
to
blast off. We get on the road and blast off mid-March. So enjoying it.
Definitely. I had some rehearsals last weekend with the chairman of the board and the executives. We'll actually be performing this Saturday at the Swanee Theater in
Yes.
Annapolis.
I know that
So
place.
yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to, if you're in the area
Hmm.
and you want to come check out a show, I think we're playing from 8 until 10. Feel free to go to thechairmanoftheboard.com and get that ticket information.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
met the owners there. I did a bridal show a couple months back, and I had my photo booth set up too. And they
Mm,
came and they talked to me, the owner, husband and wife, and they're like, "Yeah, we got a new venue that we're getting started open up." And he gave me his card. He wanted me to come and do a visit, do a tour of the venue
okay.
with my planning partners and stuff like that. But we hadn't set it up yet. But I've been telling her, "Yo, we got to go to this venue. We got to go to this venue and check it out," because they were super cool. The
Nice.
husband and wife that own it. So I've been following them on Instagram and stuff. And I was like, "Yo, I saw that y'all were gonna be there." I was like,
Okay. Yeah, man. So we,
Gotta go see that place."
I think this will be my first time there, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't
Yeah.
been to Annapolis since the we did the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame inductions
Hmm.
awards and everything last fall, last October. So excited! We excited to be back in Kannapolis this
Yeah.
weekend. Beautiful town,
Absolutely.
beautiful people. You can't go wrong there. You know.
Absolutely. And speaking of the North Carolina Hall of Fame, if you guys didn't know, this guy's a Hall of Fame musician.
Hey,
He is
okay.
in the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, a
Hey,
member of Chairman of the Board, music director for Chairman of the Board, and member of the esteemed band Mellow Groove out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Shout out to Winthrop.
yes, yes.
And they are also in in the Rock Hill Music Hall of Fame. Wow,
Mhm.
you're HOF.
HOF, better than the FOH.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, man. Speaking of Winthrop, though, tell them
Oh
about our
yeah.
guest we got today.
Yeah, well, I got to let me introduce you. You
Oh
know,
man,
I got to
I'm
introduce
nobody.
this guy.
I'm just me.
He's a, ladies and gentlemen, this distinguished guy to the left side of the screen. He does many things. He's a wow, guys, an event coordinator, an entertainment consultant,
Wow.
a digital media strategist. Man, he's your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. I've been saying that for many years, even before
Yeah.
the show. Not only that, what else? What else do we do, man? We got to
We,
mention this show.
yeah,
He
we produce
executive producer.
podcasts.
He produces podcasts.
Yeah.
He co-hosts. You know, a wonderful co-host, and it's a pleasure to work with him every week. You know, but ladies and gentlemen, make some noise in the chat. Make some noise at home. If you're at your cubicle, at your desk, make some
Oh,
noise in your head for none other than Mr. Travis Bizel,
oh,
aka
great.
DJ
Thank you, brother. And
Yes, sir.
I think I cheated you a bit. I gave all your credentials, but
It's I threw
shout
you
out
off.
to yeah, my man Jerry Midas Hardest and Hofwoff, Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame.
Yeah, all of that, all of that. Yeah,
Hofwoff.
man.
What's
Yeah.
up,
So you
brother?
said speaking of Winthrop,
Yeah,
right?
speaking of Winthrop, man, tell them about our guest that
Yeah.
we have
So
today.
I guess our special guest for the day, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of meeting this guy. I'm telling my age a little bit. 20, a little over 20 years ago, while I
Yeah.
was, we both were attending Winthrop University at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I was involved with the musicians, the artists, and everything like that. But we kept crossing paths with this guy and his crew, and come to find out, he was into the he was already working at doing work at the radio station at Winthrop. He's a mass comm major. Um, Currently, he is producing 8 shows under his belt. He told me in our green room before coming on, he's directly involved with 5 of those. They go from the Good Old Boys, which I did the theme music for some years ago, up to the current platform that he's pushing heavily by the name of Stop Look and Listen. I'm partial to Stop Look and Listen because I've been a guest on there before, along with others
Okay.
like Alicia Rashad and Dawn Robinson from In Vogue, and we're gonna get those links in the comments as well. Yeah, yeah, 62, man.
62.
Yeah, but not only does he do that, ladies and gentlemen, he is currently the head of development, partnerships, and originals for Postman, which is a tech company in Silicon Valley. He's going to tell
Wow.
us about all of that and more today. So if you are interested in starting your own platform, podcast, or you know somebody that's looking into doing that and they have questions, you definitely want to tag them. They definitely want to be here today. But without being much more long-winded, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the screen. He's going to get us familiar with his story, this and that. And I got to shout him out one more time because he comes out and still supports to this day when I'm in the area playing music. And he's the only guy that I know that has a picture with Thelma from Good Times. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for LeTroy, Mr. LeTroy Gardner.
Man,
Fellas,
what's happening?
how you
Thank you
doing,
for joining
famous?
us.
How you doing,
How you
famous?
doing?
Midas, my
Yes,
guy.
sir. You my guy, man. Hey, we appreciate you coming on and joining us. And ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
he's out on some business right now. You know, he's out in Vegas, you know,
Yeah.
in the city of bright lights and all of that good stuff. So
Hmm.
he counted it not robbery to come on and have a chat
Yeah.
with us for this lunch hour.
That
So
is
we
that is
welcome.
not a Zoom background. That is the actual going on right now.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
oh yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. So Josh, if you want to send me some of those crab balls, yeah, send it to Westgate.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
You got some orders going out today, Josh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Man, yeah, man. So it's customary here, man. Before we get into the thick of your story, you know, we like to ask our guests where they were born and raised, and for them to tell us a little bit about their childhood and upbringing.
Okay, so my journey began in the town of Beaufort, South Carolina,
Hey.
uh, St. Helena Island, Scott Hill.
Uh huh.
Um, growing up, growing up on a country road,
Yes.
grandfather grandfather farming, mom working hard. We just doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Buford is also home to Paris Island, where
Uh
the
huh.
Marines are made. So I think that backdrop between the Marines and then the work ethic of my family, that was ingrained in me from the jump. That you know, as the name of the show, no
No,
shortcuts.
there's
Mm.
no shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't go through life taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
Hard work takes you a long way. No
that's
excuses
a fact.
allowed.
Wow.
That's a
So
fact.
that's in my DNA from the beginning.
Uh huh.
Um, Military family, as I said, we ended up moving to Cherry Point, North Carolina, eastern part.
Okay.
Lived there for about 10 years.
Mhm.
When we moved there, I was like 5 years old, didn't know
Mm.
anybody. I was bribing kids, giving them some of my snacks,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
to make some friends. And,
Right.
some of them
Right.
I'm still cool with to this day.
Yeah, that bribing
Uh,
worked then.
oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Those crab balls
Yeah.
make a friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, we're not above a little bribery. Yeah. So hey, listen. So what was some of your hobbies and interests as a kid, as you're growing up and learning your way, finding your way to your passions? What were some of your hobbies along the way?
And I enjoyed playing sports, basketball, baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, growing up in the area where I was bribing kids, we would play all day long.
Yeah.
Everything: baseball, basketball, football.
All right.
We'd play racquetball.
Yeah.
We like just put our imagination to work, which I think was
Hmm.
helpful as far as building tents and playing house and
Yeah.
learning how to improvise.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was some of those things that you do as a kid, those innate skills, you
Yeah.
just never know down the road,
How they'll pan out,
how it's
right?
gonna come to fruition and utilize it, and it becomes second nature. So I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of those actions, they were valuable, immensely valuable.
Hmm.
I enjoyed watching wrestling.
Oh, talk about
Um,
it.
Talk about it.
I
That's
just I
right.
just
w,
watched the Jake the Snake Roberts documentary on A&E a couple nights ago.
Oh wow.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the China one Sunday night.
Mm.
That was well produced.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, those were always very intriguing. I guess so much so because we were kids when we were kind of into it, and now we're
mhm.
adults. We understand the magic of the
Hmm.
the the sport, but we are also fascinated with their
With the
lives outside.
stories. Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
it gets a little crazy. And I watched the one on Harlem Heat too. That
Oh
was
yeah.
good.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't see that. I didn't see
yeah,
that either.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But hey, listen, we digress.
Yeah. We can
Uh-huh.
talk wrestling
But
docs all day.
but I will say like professional wrestling inspires me when it comes to creativity. Like the
Hmm.
way
Yeah,
they
no,
do
talk about that.
promos.
Oh
Yeah, the way
yeah,
they do promos is something that I always take note of when I
Hmm.
yeah.
write promos to this day because of
Nice.
the energy and how they can
Tell a story.
tell a story, sell an
Right.
event in 30 seconds or less.
Yeah,
So
nah, that's
for those
great.
that are new to this space, like just pay close attention to that.
That's
Yeah,
a
and
good tip.
another thing that I've taken from them is that they say the best characters or gimmicks are the ones that are just an exaggerated image of yourself.
Right.
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 You know, yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, we dropping jewels and not even meaning to.
Well, that's how I like to do it. And I know you've met Ric Flair multiple times,
Yeah,
and I heard you even had dinner with him. I
yeah,
had a
yeah.
chance meeting with the Nature Boy myself. Uh,
Nice, nice.
we were at myself, Mario Washington, and Thomas, two other Winthrop grads. Mario
Right, I
obviously
know those guys
is
too.
my partner in crime when it comes to forecast
Mario,
media. We
yeah.
were at the Shrine Bowl practice one year that was in
Oh,
Rock Hill, and we were just standing there on the sidelines watching because Mario, worked for the local radio station that was
that's right.
broadcasting the game, and all of a sudden a black Cadillac Escalade pulls up,
Hmm.
and the Nature Boy hops out, and
Wow.
he comes up to us, and he comes and shakes our hand. He's like, "Nature Boy,"
Yeah,
and
yeah. That sound about right.
Yeah.
so we just
Cool
started
cover.
chatting, and he was like, "Is
Yeah.
this the North Carolina team's practice?" And we were like, "Nah, it's somewhere else." So we ended up leading him to the other practice,
Yeah,
and
cool
yeah,
fella,
he was.
man.
And then we got another friend who's a huge wrestling fan,
Uh,
and we just surprised him. Like we
yeah.
walked up behind Nature Boy, tapped him on the shoulder, and he was right there in his gimmick. He did it again, Nature Boy,
Yeah, Mr.
and our
Boy,
friend almost fainted.
That would have been me.
yeah, nah, that sounds about right, man.
Yeah.
And
That would have
and
been
that's
me.
huge for us because these are guys we grew up watching on TV. But when
Hmm.
all the mystique was there, you believed everything, all the storylines and all of that. So to come full circle later in life and to actually meet someone you used to like look up to or
Hmm.
admire, whatever, whether he was a heel or a baby face, whatever, is pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what's up, man. So, all right. So then, as you progress, let's see. So we talked about your hobbies and interests as you were, growing up and things like that. And as I was telling you in the green room too before we came on, I learned in your bio you actually got involved and you actually corrected me, it was with TV instead of radio in high school.
Right.
How did that come about?
Yeah, so when we're in high school, we're discovering a lot of things, whether that's internally or externally,
True.
and you're dibbling and dabbling in a lot of activities. You're trying to find your way. Like I wasn't at that point playing sports.
Hmm.
I didn't join a band. I wasn't in ROTC or anything like that.
Hmm.
I didn't really have a plan for after high school either. Like I
Okay.
definitely wasn't going into the military, but I
Hmm.
wasn't really thinking too hard about college.
Really? Okay.
So we had a program called School to Work, where
Hmm.
we basically have a guidance counselor, and we sort of figure out based on like our behavior and our personalities and things like that what would be
Oh.
the right career path for us. And I also shared that I was interested in broadcasting. My voice was pretty good at the time, for
Oh yeah.
15,
It,
16-year-old.
it still is.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go toot my horn, but yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, we toot it for
We'll
you.
toot
No
it.
problem.
Yeah. So we came to the conclusion that I should intern with a radio station or a TV station.
Hmm.
The radio station in town was a Christian radio station,
Okay.
and the TV station was a South Carolina Public Broadcasting station. I
Uh-huh.
found out that the owner of the radio station was also the 6 o'clock news anchor for the TV station. So I made
Okay.
the decision: why don't I just intern at the TV station, and I'd still have an opportunity to pick the brain of the owner of the radio station as well, Rick
Hmm.
Forstner. So
Okay.
yeah, I started as a junior in high school, interning at WJWJ TV.
Hmm.
Uh, they put me under the wing of Juan Singleton, who was also a guest to Stop, Look, and Listen,
Okay.
and I just shadowed him. Just school board, county board meetings,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
high school football games, basketball games. I was just a shadow, whether it was carrying camera equipment,
Just
um,
learning
yeah, you
the
know,
nature, the nature of the business.
grabbing people for interviews.
Uh-huh.
Like I would just pop up at a station even when I didn't have to, and just
Yeah.
sit in and absorb and listen.
Mm.
Right.
Sit in on production meetings, work the
Mm-hmm.
cameras for the 6 o'clock news, work the Chiron machines.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole nine. Just getting my feet wet.
Yeah.
Not trying to be a distraction.
Right.
Goof off or
Playing it
anything,
right.
but just forging those relationships.
Yeah, man.
And it was helpful. I knew that at that point, um, things were still up in the air as far as my future, but I knew that I wanted to major in mass communications
Okay.
once the decision was made that, yeah, college was the next step.
Mhm.
All right, cool deal. Nice. All right, real quick before we proceed, famous, you got the horn on deck since
Yeah.
Troy doesn't want to toot his own horn.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I wanted to. I was about to hit it when he said he was at the Westgate too. Like, oh, that's a slight stunt.
Yeah, definitely, definitely,
That's a
definitely.
slight
Yeah,
stunt.
yeah, wow. All right, so you made up your mind that you wanted to be a mass comm major at
Mhm.
Winthrop, and then these are the years where our paths begin to cross.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, Winthrop wasn't my first choice. Hampton University was my first choice. Honestly, I wanted to major in music business. I
Mm.
wanted to I wanted to be like the next Puff or Master P
Mhm.
Yeah.
or RZA or you know
Master
Russell
P was huge.
Simmons.
Master P was huge at that time,
Mhm.
early
Yeah,
Winthrop days, and he's still relevant to this day. Which
Yeah.
is impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. And
yeah.
so
So
after, go ahead. I'm sorry.
nah, I was gonna just say yeah. So that was my first choice was to go to Hampton University, but being out of state tuition was
Mhm.
quite exorbitant. So I had
Yeah.
to figure out, somewhere in the state of South Carolina, and Winthrop was home. It
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
felt right. We went on a tour my senior year.
Mhm.
Roger Coakley as well, who Midas.
Oh yeah. Shout out to
Um,
Rob. Yeah.
yeah, so the two of us and several other classmates, we took a tour to USC Columbia, Johnson and
Mhm.
Wales, and Winthrop. And as soon as we stepped on that campus in Rock Hill, we
Yeah.
fell in
That was
love.
good.
Mm.
You guys, you rarely saw one without the other back then, right?
Mm.
Right. Yeah, I get clowned by Thomas and Mario all the time
Oh
because the
really?
first the first day we stepped on campus, I think it was a Sunday morning. It was kind of cloudy and it might have been raining a little bit. But we
Yeah.
didn't go to we didn't go to church that Sunday morning, but we had on
Okay.
suits.
Ah,
We had our
hey,
derbies on.
tell 'em about how you used to dress, man. These guys, yo, fashion statement before Russell Westbrook and all these guys, the NBA guys, how they come
Yeah.
up to the game. This guy and Raj, they was on their fashion kick early.
Mhm. Looking like
Early.
LeBron and D Wade coming through.
Yeah, what inspired that, man? Like, yeah, I forgot about that. The way you guys used to just dress it up.
Yeah, so in high school, Raj he was named most fashionable as far as the, class of '99 and everything. So
Uh
I was kind of I felt the kind of way. I was like I should have
huh.
got a little bit more love,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when we became roommates and joined forces, we just started shopping together. And
Mm.
even to this day, like I was in New York with them like 2 or 3 years ago, and we
Uh
went in a store and we separated and
huh.
shopped. And when
And
we
he
got
kept
to the
up.
register, we had
Same
almost the
stuff.
same exact thing. We had the same shirt in a different color.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
that's just how it is with us. But yeah,
Yeah.
we just we like colors. That's how it is in Buford. We like colors. We want to be seen. Like we don't
Yeah.
have to be the loudest in a room
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
far as
But you gonna notice me.
vocally, but you're gonna
Yeah.
notice us. We're gonna have a presence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And real quick, I'm gonna take a pause, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, drop us a comment, say hello, let us know that
Yeah.
you're here. Famous, you got that link if they need to do for Ecam to give them permission.
Yeah, if you haven't already done so, go to that link right there on the bottom, ecam.live/connect. You just have to do it one time. That just lets Facebook and Ecam talk to each other good, so we can see your
Yeah.
name
Mhm.
when you're posting your comments. It won't spam you. They don't use your information to try and send you ads or anything like that. Just so we can have access to who you are when you're commenting. That's all we're
Yeah,
gonna use it for.
that's it. And shout out to YouTube, shout out to
Yeah,
Facebook, shout out to Twitch. Thank y'all for being here with us today. So yeah, so
absolutely.
around this time, so then you get involved with the radio station at Winthrop while you're there. How soon into your college career do you find yourself? Because I think ever since I met you, you was at the radio station doing something,
Right.
being involved. You know.
So I'd say maybe late into the first semester of my freshman year,
Okay.
I just started going to the station
Yeah,
because remember, WINR used to be on the TV, so
that's right.
uh, we would turn. Me and Raj were roommates, and we would turn on the TV, and we would hear Wu Tang or Mob Deep or
Yeah,
um, Capone and Noriega on on the TV.
yeah.
And I'm
Which
thinking
the
like, what
radio.
is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I find out this is Winthrop's radio station. So Roger had a project in which he ended up going to WINR
Okay.
and interviewing these three guys that hosted a show called the Royal Palace,
Okay.
which was Mario Washington, Thomas Geddes, and Brian Platts.
Yep. Shout out
And
to them.
he mentioned, he was like, yo, my roommate, like he's a mass comm major and he loves hip hop. Like he's a perfect fit. So
Hmm.
then I just started going to their show every Wednesday night, and I would just sit there. Half the time I wouldn't say anything. I'm just like I
Yeah.
was at WJWJ, just studying, learning,
Right. Right.
like not
Soaking
trying
up
to
game.
Yeah.
exactly. And eventually Mario said something, as you know how Mario is. He's not gonna hold his
Nah.
tongue too long. He's like,
Nah.
man, what do you do? And then we just built a
You
relationship.
sound just like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
built a relationship, and there was so many similarities, that eventually we just started hanging out and playing NBA Live for money. I'd take his money 80% of the time, um,
Yeah.
and bouncing ideas off each other
Hmm.
until we finally came up with my first show, which started, I want to say, the beginning of my sophomore year,
Okay.
called the Dungeon,
The
which was
dungeon. Okay.
a hip hop show. It was
Uh huh.
myself and Kelly Usher and Ronnie Fatback Wilson. So
Oh, I remember Fatback. He used to be in the gym with us and everything too. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, man.
So we did that show. Then I made it known that I was kind of getting bored with only playing hip hop. Like I love R&B classics as well.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
then created a show called The Bedroom. So
Okay.
I did that show with Promise Young for a while, and then Mario hopped on and did it with me as well.
Yeah.
Um, I love both of those shows. It was an experience. It allowed me to just hone those skills because
Hmm.
I want to go back. Like as a kid, I would listen to Kiss 102 in Eastern North Carolina and E93 in Savannah, Georgia, and I would I would remember the personalities.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
basically Picasso to the music. Like they're painting
Yeah.
this picture and
Right.
giving and bringing light, the
Yeah.
behind the scenes story to these songs that we're hearing on the radio. And it's like, the theater of the mind is an incredible thing. And
Very true.
it's like, yeah, it's something that stuck with me. And I was just, for the most part, just utilizing some of those skills that I was absorbing from, the BK Kirklands and the Troy G's of the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
Um,
mind you, I was just gonna say, and mind you, this is before social media, so you really didn't have a face to put with the voice either. So it was
Right.
all personality based.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, you
exactly.
definitely had to use that imagination a little bit more. And I like how a couple different instances so far you've gone back to just that art of storytelling, whether it be through writing or through words or comparing it to the promos that the wrestlers cut, just being able to tell that story to, properly promote and advertise what it is that you're trying to do. I just think that's really important, and it might be something that's kind of getting lost these days a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into the current state of
Yeah.
media a little bit
Yeah.
later, but
Mhm.
um, I think the craft has been pimped out a lot.
Which is everything, right?
Yep.
A lot of the arts, whether it be media, music, once the corporate dollars start entering into the picture,
Hmm.
it loses the potency
Yeah.
often.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So that all across the board, Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
And we'll
tell
definitely get into that. Go ahead, Faith.
us about tell us about. I'm probably skipping a little bit, but I want to hear. I want to make sure we had a chance to get into the Stop, Look, and Listen podcast, the show, and how that started for you and what that turned into.
Okay. Yeah, we're skipping a lot, but
Okay. Okay.
as Jerry knows, but yeah, stop, look, and listen. I created um April. Well, the show debuted in June of 2020. I actually
Oh, okay.
came up with the idea probably October 2019, but as I've always said, from the idea to the show seeing the light of day usually takes 8 to 12 months,
Hmm.
when it comes to how we do things.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, the idea came up, me and Mario, we discussed it. Um what we originally discussed to what you actually, saw or heard, those two
Hmm.
completely different
Hmm.
lanes.
Okay.
Um and like with the good old boys, we have well over 300 interviews, celebrity
Yeah.
interviews in the
Mhm.
can.
Hmm.
But stop, look, and listen, especially, at that point, we wanted to provide a lane to, our everyday heroes,
Right.
those that have, monumental achievements that no one ever really hears about.
Hmm.
So
Right.
just having those conversations,
Hmm.
um, I felt was needed, especially in the time that we were in with COVID and
Oh yeah.
the George Floyd murder,
Hmm.
and everybody's on edge. Mental health was,
Hmm.
sort of taking a tremendous dip.
Yeah.
Um, Not being able to see people, myself, I was in North Carolina basically by myself, um, trying to figure out who to talk to.
Hmm.
Some things is going on in my personal life that I had to adjust to, but that's
Uh-huh.
life. I'm always gonna um, deal with whatever happens and become a champion as a result of that.
Yeah, man.
So, Stop, Look, and Listen was born, and um, every week, just having these amazing conversations, with people that were entrepreneurs, politicians, musicians,
Hmm.
doctors.
Hmm.
Like I
The
said,
list
Jerry was
goes
on the
on.
show.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
on
just
there.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
the spectrum of our diaspora, was quite broad, and I just wanted to, bring light to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll let you go back now, but I want to hear. I want to get a little bit of that on the front end
Yeah.
because
And
it's
as
very
you said,
important. Yeah.
and as we said before we came on, everybody has a story
Hmm.
to tell, and then like you said, Troy, you can take the good, bad, and the ugly from it, and you can apply it in some shape or fashion to your own situation, and you can avoid certain missteps, but also you
Yeah.
can learn. You can learn, and most of all, you can be inspired by somebody else's story. So yeah. So where we going back to? Back to we was at
He was
we
at
was at
Winthrop.
yeah, man. So we was at Winthrop, and then we talked about having the shows there on campus, and then and at this time we had this. What I was involved in was like the Tutor Realness Seventh Heaven Productions. We working on music, but we always, you guys always, supported us. We would always run into each other and things like that. Shout out to Derek Ofori. I see he just joined our no shortcuts community as well.
Hmm.
But we had a big movement going on back then, man,
Mhm.
and I definitely feel like you guys played a role in that movement by being involved with the radio station.
Right. And shouts to Derek. I
Mhm.
also had him on Stop Look and Listen. And
Okay.
like you all what, a year ahead of us. Like
Yeah.
my crew that came in 99. And
Hmm.
you all sort of already had your imprint on Winthrop's campus when it comes to music and popularity and fame. So when we came on, it was almost like we're this rookie class, this star-studded rookie class,
Okay.
and the veterans that are already holding down the fort, they see this rookie class coming in, and
Mm.
it can either go one of two ways.
Mhm.
Either we can clash, or
Yeah.
you take us under your wing.
Right.
And it was a little bit of clashing at first because on the seventh floor we would all be wrestling,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, but it might have been an initiation just to see what we were made of. So
Who knows, right? Who knows?
yeah,
Who knows? Yeah, but it all ended up coming together, man, and
Yeah.
oh yeah.
you know,
And there was a
and
lot of respect there. And
oh, for sure.
yeah, like you said, Derek and Calvin and
I
um,
think I saw Jason's name in the he was viewing. And Jason, shout out to you if you're watching.
yeah,
Oh,
shout out to Rousey, A
yeah,
Town.
all of them guys, man. They were
Oh yeah,
crews. All it's like a bunch of crews came together to accomplish, to accomplish a goal of getting some music done. And what good is putting out a project if you don't have some radio people to network with, right?
Yeah. That's true. Somebody's got to play it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody got to play, So it just all, but it was organic. I don't think
oh
we was
yeah,
thinking at the time like, oh, we're gonna need these guys, and I don't think they're thinking we're gonna need them. Need the guys to make the music. It was just organic. It just
Yeah.
uh, common threads.
Yeah. That's awesome.
it, I don't know how you know these pieces came together like Voltron, but we all had unique qualities that lended itself well to assisting others. Like you
Hmm.
had you had your Stanley Jacksons, who's business minded. You had J.R. Edwards, whose dad ran clubs in Columbia, and he had that experience. You
Hmm.
had J.R. Johnson, who also played
Yeah, played music.
instruments.
Hmm.
Yourself.
Yeah,
You had the rappers in the bunch. You had
yeah,
Derek, who was sort of like the overseer, the
yeah. He was the
overlord. You
CEO.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. And you just had so many different talents, in a pot of gumbo, and
Yeah,
we had a good time. Those
yeah,
are
we did.
memories that I always hold near and dear.
Yeah, likewise, man. Because not too many people. I've said it on here before. Not too many people get the opportunity to be a part of a musical project during their college years,
Hmm.
and it was done so professionally. And me at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm just coming through, making tracks, playing the open mics, whatever. But it's part of the process of bringing you up to speed where you are
Hmm.
currently. So it was, yeah. I feel like you feel with some great times. Always will cherish those, man. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So bring us. Is there a way we can kind of go from Winthrop and do a little dash up into the stop, look and listen? Because I want to talk about your position that you currently have with the tech company also.
Okay, so my last year at Winthrop, I was in the library at Dacus Library working. An idea for the Good Old Boys radio show came about,
Uh huh.
and that show is probably different than any show I've ever done. It was almost like a sketch comedy radio show.
Yeah.
And myself, Mario Washington, and Kimberly Shaw, we were doing it. They both had already graduated, so for them to just come back and um, fall in line and work with me still, that was a
Yeah.
you
Love.
know a
Yeah.
feat within itself. Yeah, but we
Uh huh.
would do we would do skits kind of tied to those times. We did a Reading Rainbow skit, you
Uh huh.
know, somebody was imitating LeVar Burton, and then we had like Michael Jackson reading a book. You
Oh
know,
man, yeah, all kind of fun stuff.
yeah, we had a skit with Saddam Hussein and George Bush, the
Hmm.
second George Bush.
Okay,
Because of what was going on in Iraq at the time, we were just
Hmm.
we were just doing like our in living color slash
Yeah,
radio type thing,
sure.
which was fun.
right.
And sort of put that show on hold after I graduated. I ended up doing a show with Mario and a few others at WRHI Rock Hills radio station
Uh-huh.
until that got canceled because I made some comments
Oh,
similar to
really?
Kanye West.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, they canceled it because of
Oh
that.
yeah. I
I
mean
had no
WRHI
idea.
is a country sports talk radio station, so
Yeah,
the fact that they had five black people on a radio show was
yeah.
you
It
know
was already thin.
So
yeah
you guys went in there
skating on
teeter
thin ice.
tottering
Yeah,
already with teeter tottering when you.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So the first time somebody steps out of line, all
Yeah,
right, you
yeah.
messing with our advertisers.
That's right.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
yeah,
this is when Kanye was doing what though at the time because he's so
it was
many things.
Hurricane Katrina when he got on
Oh,
there with Michael Myers and
oh,
was like,
Oh yeah.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
yeah, that okay. That was the first one. That was the first one of many.
That was
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That was the
I
first
mean,
one.
You
for
know,
whatever reason, he hasn't learned his lesson. He
nah,
needs to
yeah, good man.
he needs to have a mute button in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody.
Kanye gonna stay messing up a check, ain't
Yeah,
he?
but I hear he's getting back in the good graces with Adidas. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know how much of that is true, but that's what I hear. But you
Yeah.
know, we wish him well as
For
a
sure.
fellow musician,
Oh yeah,
content creator, and
For sure.
entrepreneur himself.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
yeah, yeah.
like we ended up eventually starting the Good Old Boys radio show and changing it from how it was before.
Hmm.
And we brought Wafiq and Quentin
You-
Gore
Shout out to them.
onto the team. So it was the four of us.
Um,
And you know, the Good Old Boys went through several iterations. At
Hmm.
first we started on internet radio, then
mhm.
we did it exclusively podcasting, then we syndicated it,
Mm.
globally. We were on stations all around the world. Then we decided to go back to podcasting.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so that's like an 11, 12 year journey that we
Hmm.
had, you know.
Yeah, and Drew was with you guys too, right, for a little while.
Well, I mean, Drew's always kind of helping out in the background when it
I
comes
got
to
you.
he would help book guests. He would, put the word out marketing wise.
Okay.
He's always even to
Avid
this day,
supporter.
like
Yeah,
he's helping me with Stop Look and Listen.
nice.
As far as you need to talk to this person from Winthrop. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's
shout out.
gotten several interviews for me for Stop Look
Yeah,
and Listen.
shout out to Drew,
So
man. I just want to make
yeah.
sure we ain't leave nobody's name out as far as
Oh,
the forefront and the affiliates in the background. You know what I'm saying? All of our Winthrop people, man.
oh
Hmm.
yeah. Shouts to Drew. I mean, there's always people lending a helping hand here and there. So I mean, I don't even know if I want to go into listing people because there's so
Oh,
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. We have to charge it to your mind and not to your heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, Reggie Venning nowadays still, and Byron Putman,
Yeah.
yeah,
And these are all
Kimberly
relations.
Everett, put me on with her husband.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Christopher, we had an amazing interview talking
Mhm.
about his book and blacks in golf,
Uh-huh.
breaking that color barrier.
Mm.
I mean, it's just been so many.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed that there's people that want to hear what I have to say, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
so it's still flattering. It's almost hard to believe, like this
Hmm.
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
You don't think that what you do touches people. You just do
Yeah.
it because you love it.
Yeah, but see that I think that's the reason why it ends up touching people, right? Because
Right.
if we were so engulfed in trying to touch people, we're gonna miss the mark. So you just
Yeah.
Right.
we be ourselves, we do what it is that we move in a way that's
Hmm.
organic and natural to us, and people they gravitate toward that.
Hmm.
And these
Yeah.
are a lot of these people you name it are relationships you made at Winthrop, if I'm not
Oh yeah.
mistaken.
Oh yeah. And I mean, a lot of times I have this conversation. Like I spoke at my high school last week, and I'll never downplay my experience at Winthrop. It was extremely valuable.
Important. Yeah.
Um, More so outside of the classroom than it was inside of the
Yeah.
classroom.
Yeah.
I
So it
mean,
still served its purpose.
because those are like monumental steps into manhood. Like
Yeah.
you arrive in college, somewhat lost,
Hmm.
uh, thinking that education wise it's gonna be like high school, but
Yeah.
nah, like you have to learn how to survive. You have to learn how to eat, how to manage your time, how to
Yeah.
build relationships. Like mommy and daddy isn't there for you to do that. You have to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Um, you have to. Uh, it's like that next level. Like
Yeah.
that's what life is about. You have to continue to
Progress, right?
um, progress. You can't be 40 years old stuck in the mindset of being in college.
Yeah.
Um, like that's a chapter, and
Right.
trust me, I love that chapter. But
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no way I can have that same mind state as a 40-year-old that I
No
had as
way.
a 21, 22-year-old. That's not
No
gonna get me
way.
anywhere.
That'd be
So yeah,
self-destruction at its best.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
So
yeah,
that'll be self-destruction at its best.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So you
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 know?
learn a lot as far as what's necessary and what isn't necessary.
Yeah.
What
Right.
relationships do you need and which ones are disposable? Who
Mhm.
Right.
can you trust and who is just trying to use you?
Mm.
Just things like that.
Hmm.
And as a result of that, at 42 years old, I'm at peace. Like
Yeah.
I do what I enjoy on my own terms,
Uh-huh.
live wherever I want,
Hmm.
and make good money doing it.
There you go. Hey,
And
Yeah.
that
and
sounds like success to me.
Yeah, that's the definition.
yeah, that's the American dream, I
Yeah,
feel.
Yes,
And it's
sir.
something
absolutely.
that I didn't plan for, cuz like in
Right.
my not until about 35 did I really
Go for it, right?
grasp that everything that I was doing had its purpose. I was
Yeah.
just kind of doing it.
Hmm.
But once I realized that, okay, I'm getting close to achieving something kind of special, then
Yeah.
I s- I shifted into higher gear. It was like
Yeah.
I went from 50 to 80,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and I don't think I'll ever be at 100. I don't even
Yeah.
know what 100 looks like,
Right.
but
80's good.
yeah, buddy.
yeah,
80's
yeah,
good. Just in
Absolutely.
case there's a little bump or something along. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Won't throw you off too bad. And then you don't want to go full 100 because you still got to take time to enjoy yourself.
exactly.
Yeah,
Always
man.
do that. Now that's a horn right there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
You have
Put the
to.
horn one time.
with the horn. Got to.
Horn
Yeah, you
worthy.
and that's something right now, Jerry and Famous. That's
Yeah.
something I'm just starting to get a handle on is like looking back at the catalog, the wealth of content that we have,
Yeah.
and just soaking it in, but
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
living off of it because you
Right.
always have to stay hungry, for the next meal
That's right.
and what the next journey is about. But
Yeah.
you still can, you know, soak up just the amazing
Hmm.
work you've done. So that's sort of the stage I'm at right now. Is like I'm going through, some of our older content with the good old boys. Obviously, we can't post those full episodes because
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we would
We
we would get canceled real quick.
yeah,
And
we in a
and
different
and
day and
Midas
time
knows.
now. Yeah, we
Midas
in a
knows. Like we were
Yeah.
we were kind of wilding out back then. Like sometimes I cringe listening to it, but
It's a different time.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
different times, man. I even cringe like when I listen to music that I made
Yeah.
like
hmm
back then, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, that ain't
Yeah.
quite it. It was jamming then, but I think that just shows growth and how
Right.
times change. Things change, but you're able to be a chameleon and adapt and do what you need to do to stay
Yeah.
with the times, but yet be unique at the
right.
same time. Be
Absolutely.
original. Yeah. So you got to tell us about being the head of development for partnerships and originals for Postman, which is a
Postman.
tech company in Silicon Valley. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. So about a year and a half ago, I was at that point where I was like, you know what? I'm beginning to get this sense that it's time to move on. I had been at UNC Chapel Hill for almost 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was feeling like, okay, the goal was to work in libraries while still, having the time and the energy to pursue my passion. And I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I reached that point where it was time to put myself out there to see if
Test water.
somebody would hire me to
Mm-hmm.
do my passion full time. So
Nice.
so that's when Postman, that opportunity came about. Postman is one of the leading providers in APIs, which basically runs everything that we do. Like whatever app you're using, if
Yeah.
it's taking you from like this interview to on Facebook, APIs is behind that.
Wow.
And they're looking to make a stronger imprint into the podcast space, and I was brought on the first 8-9 months or so. I was just producing and booking guests for the Breaking Changes podcast. Ken Lane, who hired
Okay.
me, is also the evangelist for Postman. He's the
Okay.
host, so I was just getting guests for that show,
Uh-huh.
and we were having conversations talking about how much I was bringing to the show, as far as the diversity and the brands involved. And we were like, you need to create a position for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I did some research and I came up with that position. And
Nice.
with this position, I'm creating more shows, producing more shows. So we have the Breaking Changes Roundtable, which is like four panelists discussing mainstream topics from a tech perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's going well. Probably going to get into documentaries real soon.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Looking to bring in some familiar faces to the Postman team.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just rolling. It's
Holla
been
at us.
fun.
Yeah,
Holla
let
at
me
us.
take a minute. Let me take a second to
The horn again?
applause. I got to applause the idea of calling your own number and creating your
Yeah.
own position.
Come on, man. Hey.
He said, "Go ahead and create a position for yourself." I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. But he did it. He did it
Yes.
in
I'm
doing
going to
his
be
due
the
diligence.
director of player personnel, whatever it is.
Yeah, man. Hey. So,
Yeah,
but
but
that's
the
awesome.
important lesson in that is if you come in as um, Jerry says, come in humble with a work
Yeah.
ethic, not trying to, um, cause any dissension. Just do your job.
Yeah,
Blessings will come as a result of that.
absolutely.
So, so that's pretty much was my mindset. Just work, learn, because I didn't know anything about APIs.
Right.
Honestly, I'm still a novice when it
Learning.
comes to it, but
Right.
I mean, I know podcasting. I know how to book guests. I know how
Sure.
to put out a quality show. So I brought
Absolutely.
those gifts, and I'll learn the API stuff later.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
and that was very much appreciated. And like I said, we learn off each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Kudos.
they're learning from me. I'm learning from them, and you know, in the
Teamwork make the
process,
dream
I'm
work.
blessed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's
That's
awesome, man.
awesome. That's awesome. And we generally try to keep this to an hour. We may have to do a part two.
I,
I know you got so much.
I was gonna say we can keep going. I'm good.
Yeah, but what advice? Say there's someone out there who's watching, because this, even though this is live, there will be a replay that's available that'll live forever on YouTube. What if somebody is like thinking about starting a podcast or starting a platform? What would be some advice you would give them?
Hmm. Well, I mean, first off, be unique, be yourself.
Hmm.
Um, don't try to be Joe Budden. Don't try to be Charleston White. Don't try to be Math Hoffa. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Um, like the last thing we need is another one of someone else. Be the best version of yourself, and you
Hmm.
stand out more.
Yeah.
Um, pay attention to automation, AI. I mean, trust me, it's changing the world, and it's changing podcasting. Like
Uh-huh.
I use automation all the time when it comes to my podcasting. Without it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way I can get 5 shows done.
Gotcha.
Um, Only keep people around you that can, can and want you to succeed. Um, 40 years, 40 plus with dead weight leads to heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
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 buddy.
true that. Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
well said. I couldn't have said it
absolutely.
better myself.
yeah, so just, I mean, if you have to cut dead weight, you cut dead weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But the thing is, my mindset is I don't cut people off; people cut themselves off.
Yeah.
So you just let people do what they do,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
give them
and
enough
the
rope.
ones that really want to be a part of your journey, they will show it by their actions, not by
Yeah.
what they say.
Yeah.
So just just sit back, listen, observe,
Mm-hmm.
and stay focused. Have your tunnel vision. Don't let any distractions deter you from the destination. You will get told no a million times, but if you believe in yourself and you have incremental gains here and there,
Yeah,
then keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Find mentors, find people that will school you,
Hmm.
to give you the proper guidance based on their pitfalls and their accomplishments.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, it's it's something that doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Like we've discussed. This is 25 years in the making. This
Right.
isn't something that I just hopped out of bed and
right. Yeah,
became good at it. Like
right.
there's bad interviews, there's shows, good old boys episodes that had absolutely no chemistry.
Uh,
There's I mean, there's a lot of times
Another
that
thing.
I could have
Yeah.
easily given up, but no,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's par for the course. Now, when something happens, I'm
Hmm.
just like, yeah, I mean, I've seen this before. I've
Yeah.
seen it
Right.
and experienced it all. So just go through the process, enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
if you know it's for you, then yeah, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome,
entered
man.
this space when COVID became a thing, and I with that's my story, and before it was that's my story, it was just like a party chat, a means to communicate with our friends and following. It turned
Mm-hmm.
into an
Turned
actual
into a
show,
show.
and then after that went to syndication, and we got back out, and we're back able to play and do shows again. It's in syndication on channel 49tv.com, and Famous and I had been talking, so we started this platform. So now I'm getting more and more comfortable in this space, but always something that can be learned. And I've had people ask me because they see me doing this now, like, what, how do I get started? I'm like, really, I don't have the specific answer,
Yeah.
but I figured while we had you here today,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let
Hmm.
you answer, and if anything, I'll send them a clip.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, how did you two link up and decide that
Well, well,
no shortcuts was the next step?
yeah, I let
Well, it
Famous
was
tell.
really kind of like the same way his party chat ended up with that's my story. Midas and I used to do, well, we still do a lot of, well, we did a lot more shows together in person. Like I would be DJing, he would MC,
MC.
and just while we're working together, we're doing a show, like
A
just
side
kicking
show.
it, just cracking up, entertaining everybody, just a little sideshow. And once COVID happened, we started missing that. And I'm like, I don't really talk to my guy as much as I used to. And I'd already, gotten an idea of I wanted to do, some kind of show. Just, I didn't want it to be DJ specific because there's enough of those out there. I want it to be more just general entrepreneurship, anybody with a hustle mentality, trying to get something off the ground, and an opportunity for me and my guy to just get on and cut up with each other like we used to do anyway. And he was the perfect personality and a mic for me because he has the gift of gab.
Hmm.
You guys far too kind. That's essentially that's how it started. So
Yeah.
I pretty much pivoted from one platform, to the next, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I figured I'd throw that question out there, and then because there's always something we can pick up by talking to you because you
Absolutely.
have tons of experience
Sure.
Right.
with this
And
stuff.
definitely feel free to clear up these misconceptions that it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
oh,
think
it's definitely,
It's not.
a lot of
Yeah.
people think it's easy to just, hey, I want to do a podcast,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then
yeah,
they fall and they fail after a month or two. So
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely tell them about the work that goes into it,
yeah. And
the
I
Absolutely.
think I think
branding,
yeah.
the
Oh,
whole
it's
nine.
demanding. Yeah, and I know from that's my story, which was way more like structured. Mom, thank you, mom. I love you. Mom is
Hi,
always
mom.
there.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah. But this one is a little bit more relaxed, not as scripted. But I could do either. But um really that's my story was quite the learning experience. And it was quite rewarding for me being a musician because we had musical legends on, people
Mhm.
whose music I've heard as a child on up till now, and having the honor and privilege to actually chat with them was
Mhm.
pretty surreal for me.
Hmm.
And now with this platform, we get to have an audience where we are more so motivating and inspiring them to go after their passions, their
Yeah.
dreams. And our guests consist of more of our own personal network of people,
Mhm.
Right.
which we know a lot of people who doing something, don't we, famous?
Yeah. Got a lot of
We on our
people.
second season. We on our second season. This is what episode 40. Where we at on far as our
Yeah, I
second
think this might be yeah 50, close to 50
season?
episodes now. Yeah, so we're
Okay.
keeping
Who
it in
said
there.
that?
I'm not sure who that is, but somebody wants Jerry to get picked up by
Yeah,
our
just don't
Hey,
be
TV
on
well,
the
we
radio
radio and
well,
station.
hey,
TV
listen, we
stations.
we talking to the right guy right now.
Yeah, exactly,
Hey, you
exactly.
got fans there.
Oh
I guess
yes,
I
Yeah,
had to keep
yeah,
that in mind. But
yeah.
I'll
yeah,
quickly say, like, for those that are trying to get into the podcasting space and
Mm-hmm.
monetize it, like, there's a lot of different ways to do so. You
yeah.
don't have to, um, like I mentioned earlier, pimp yourself out just
Yeah.
to
Mhm,
gain some exposure. I make money in podcasting the independent contracting route. I do a
Mm-hmm.
podcast for UNC Chapel Hill. Like I said,
mhm,
I work for Postman producing, and
mhm.
then entrepreneurial, with Forecast Media. So
Mm-hmm.
those are three different ways right there. Within Jerry knows my content. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah, yeah.
I don't try to I don't try to
Wow.
make anyone look bad. I just try to
Oh, it's
elevate
great.
people.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's great, and I think too that the way you do your stuff, it's very professional, of course. But I think that there's a message in it to like of giving back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of an unspoken element to your show. Like you're kind of like giving back and making sure those who are, you know, up and coming, uh,
Mm-hmm.
have some jewels, whether it be through you or through the guests. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta and like here we're serious. We get our point across, but we also like to entertain a little bit. You got to
Hmm.
sprinkle a little bit of entertainment in there for our sake. For what we do.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
can't help that part.
Nah, like I said, you have to be yourself. You have to be
Yeah.
Yeah,
unique, and
Yeah.
people will notice if you're fake. That's why I
oh
can't. Like I said, I can't be other people. I was
yeah,
talking to a friend last week, and he was like, "You should do some stuff like Charleston White," and I'm like, "Nah, that's not
oh
me."
no, that's totally
And respect to what he does and his
yeah,
platform. I know he's successful, but
yeah,
I have to be able to sleep well at the end of the night.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. You don't
And
Right.
want controversy. You don't want to invite controversy to your doorstep.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Definitely.
we don't we don't live this many years and obtain peace just to purposely invite controversy to the doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you know? Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna probably wrap up here shortly. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to share with the audience, and also tell them how they can contact you if they like to follow you or get in touch with
Mm-hmm.
you? And we're gonna get you to join the community. I think you tried, but we're gonna double check and make sure you locked in with the community
Yeah.
over here. No
Okay.
shortcuts.
Let's see. I guess to those that are uh, those of you that have a dream,
Uh-huh.
dreams don't dreams come with hard work. It comes with um, putting yourself in a position to meet the right people when those opportunities present itself, not squandering it,
Right.
um, continuing to give back
Mm-hmm.
to those that see you as a shining example. I mean, because like I said, I didn't come from much,
Right.
but I came from hard work. I came
Yeah.
from love. I came from support. I came
Right.
from I came from a community in Rock Hill that um, we were unified in a mission. And those values stick with me to this day. So just make sure that even if you feel like you wasn't dealt the right hand, make sure you play it to the best of your ability.
Right.
And you can easily pull a four out of a hand that looks like you have absolutely no books.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great analogy.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
The
I
art of
love that.
storytelling again at its
Yeah.
finest.
The art of
Ladies
storytelling
and
for
gentlemen.
sure. That's the title of this episode, The Art of
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah. You
All right,
see that
so
background?
so
You
I'd
see that?
like to. So if you wanted to get in contact with me,
Yeah.
Yes.
you
Yes. Yes.
can you can find me on Facebook.
Mhm.
Sure, the link is somewhere,
Hmm.
floating around. You
Yeah.
know, you can find Forecast Media also on Facebook at Forecast Media. Website www.myforecast.com. You can find me on Instagram at One Man Catalog. See, Jerry, still
Yeah.
fashionable.
Yeah. Yeah.
One Man
One man
Catalog.
catalog. Yes, sir.
Postman.com, Breaking Changes, the show, Breaking Changes Roundtable, Postman on YouTube,
All of that.
um,
Got that
the
famous.
UNC Chapel Hill podcast, The Reckoning, coming
Mm.
soon. We just recorded an episode, so hopefully they'll edit it. That's honestly the first show that I don't have creative control over, where I
Mm.
just show up and talk. So that's
Wow.
an adjustment within itself. So
Yeah.
wherever and whenever it comes out, I'll keep you posted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
man.
absolutely.
That's a
but
lot to start.
to Famous and Midas, thank you for your time.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for the
Thank you.
Thank
platform.
you for coming on
Continue,
with us, man.
Yeah.
Straight
Don't
from
go.
doing
Vegas.
what you're doing.
Yeah, and don't go
Absolutely.
nowhere yet. We're gonna close out, and then we'll say our proper goodbyes before we part ways.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, you see what's behind this gentleman here. He's out in Vegas doing business right now.
Yeah.
Big
Absolutely.
business out there. So, you were able to get all of those links famous. You need me to go back, or we need to go back after we're done
Yeah,
and
we can go back afterwards and put some more in. And I got the forecast, Postman, and his Instagram and Facebook, of course, but we'll put the rest in the comments after. Post
like
production.
post production and like I said, before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, I hear your cups are getting empty with your lemonade.
Yeah.
Ice cream, we're hearing nothing but ice and air and
Yeah.
straw. So we got gonna prolong the time much more longer, but we do thank you guys for joining
Hmm.
us live right here today at
Absolutely.
the Shortcut Show. Whether you joined us via Facebook, whether you joined us via YouTube or via Twitch, we appreciate your time. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mom. I appreciate you. Mom is my biggest, best supporter my whole
Yeah.
life. If I'm doing something, she's gonna be right there,
For sure.
supporting, and that means a lot. So I got to say that while we're still on air, I
Yeah.
appreciate her as well as the rest of my family so much. If you're gonna be in Kannapolis this weekend, once again, the chairman of the board will be at the Swanee Theater Saturday, 8 to 10. I'm gonna shout out my mom, her platform, the Hour Power, my dad's business, and also these are all our sponsors too because
Yeah.
they support Praise and Faith Gospel Shop. My
Yeah.
brother, Smooth Sales. My sister, A Touch of Faith.
Hmm.
Also, the chairman of the board, the executives, as well as Mellow Groove, our Earth, Wind, and Fire family. I saw Marissa popped in briefly. She's in the family as well. And our official Honeycomb family. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Famous.
Absolutely. If you're watching this live or on the replay, make sure you share it. Make sure you tag someone that's interested in this content. Anyone that you know that's interested in starting a show or getting into broadcasting or being in media. They need to hear from LeTroy today. So make sure you share it. Make sure you tag them in the comments so they can watch it later on Facebook and YouTube as well. And we
For
do
sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in our No Shortcuts community.
Yeah.
We're getting new members every week. If you share
Appreciate
with
you.
your friends, share with your friends. It's an open group. We're trying to network and increase our net worth over the, So
That's
I
it.
think with that being said, once again, Thank you one more time for Mr. LeTroy Gardner. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the week. Let's do this again next Tuesday at noon. Meet us here. And
Yeah.
we appreciate y'all. God bless. Peace, love. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Troy, stay on a second.